Hello, welcome to Working Dragon Mystic, where we discuss real metaphysical and occult knowledge so that you can manifest real and tangible results in your life. This week, we're going to continue our series on the Goetia and the Goetic spirits by talking about the sixth spirit of the Goetia, Valfor. So stay tuned. Okay, so I've had a lot of people asking me, when's the next Goetia video coming out? Well, here it is. Do appreciate your all's patience. We are going to get through all these spirits. It's going to be a long series, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Or at least I think so. Alright, so the sixth spirit of the Goetia is Valfor. Valfor is of the rank Duke. Now, in the classical Goetia, Valfor is described to appear as that of a lion with a donkey's head. Interesting symbolism there. Though I've always seen him as a humanoid male in robes or other clothing, even like a suit. I've never actually personally seen the lion with the donkey's head, though some people have mentioned it to me. And I'm kind of jealous, I'll be honest. I kind of like to see that. I may actually have to ask him about that. If he appears as a lion with a donkey's head, if you request it of him, he will take on a more humanoid shape. So that's pretty easy to get around. Now, when it comes to the associations with Valfor, as I already mentioned in the start, he is of the rank Duke within the Goetia. Now, I have seen him listed in other grimoires or demonic hierarchies with other ranks, but most grimoires, even other than the Goetia, do list him as a Duke. And since this is a Goetic video, we're going to stick with the Goetics and call him a Duke. The metal associated with Valfor is copper. The planet, Venus. Color, green, and the element is earth. Now, of course, now we got the demon's name, we know his associations, so if we wanted to use those, we could set up our area and start to get ready to work with him. What is it exactly Valfor can help us with? Well, the things that I have found in my research and in working with him, that Valfor is actually very, very handy to work with for is attaining wisdom to a matter that stumps you, urge an unintentional confession from someone. This one's real handy. I like that one. Protect you from supernatural attack or nightmares. This one right here, I've got a lot of students that utilize this a lot. And not for the supernatural attack. Let's be honest, supernatural attacks do not happen as often as a lot of people, even so-called practitioners here on YouTube, would like to scare you into thinking. But they are very, very rare. However, nightmares happen to everybody, whether it's supernatural, energetic, or just a freaking nightmare. It happens. And they can suck. They really can. I've been blessed that I don't even know if I can say blessed, because I don't really do dreams. I don't have dreams or nightmares that I remember in any shape, form, or fashion. But when I do have a nightmare, it's usually reliving a very, very traumatic point of my life. My life has not always been easy or good, and that's fine. I'm okay with it, because at the end of the day, it made me who I am, and I can accept that. But reliving some of those things is, well, it's a nightmare. Outside those times, which don't happen often, maybe once or twice a year, give or take. So, not a big issue for me, but for a lot of people and many of my students, they're plagued with nightmares on the regular. And again, it can be just fears manifesting. It can be anxiety manifesting. It can be shadow work they need to deal with in the long run. They could be dealing with trauma that they've experienced through their lives. There's so many countless reasons that a nightmare could happen and could be something that you would have to deal with. Well, no matter what it is or how it is, Valfor can actually help you to deal with those nightmares, to minimize or eliminate them. And this is particularly important, and one of the reasons I love working with Valfor when it comes to nightmares. Remember that first trait up there? Obtain wisdom to a matter that stumps you? That can be tied straight down into these nightmares and can help you figure out why you're having these nightmares. So not only does he help ease the nightmares or eliminate them, but he can help you deal with the root cause, totally eliminating them in the long run. How freaking awesome is that, people? I know so many of my students, male and female, who Valfor helping them to get rid of their nightmares so they can get deep, solid, quality sleep night after night. When they talk about it, they come to tears with the amount of happiness and joy that can bring to their life. It's been amazing. So yeah, that is definitely one that I think gets overlooked a lot. Everyone wants to focus on that supernatural attack. At the end of the day, like I said, supernatural attacks are very, very rare and highly blown out of proportion. And I honestly view a lot of people's constant berating of spiritual attacks as fear tactics and fear mongering, and that's not cool. That's not cool at all. Next, Valfor can teach loyalty. Now, notice he says teaches loyalty. This will teach. He helps teach you what is loyalty, what isn't loyalty, what's blind following, what's cult-like loyalty. There's all these different things because loyalty itself is a very good thing. However, there is a form of loyalty that becomes toxic and harmful to one and even the person you're loyal to. So he actually teaches you the nuances of loyalty. And this is something I do highly encourage my students to pursue. Next, he can teach the art of manipulation and how to charm others. Yeah, well, that one is manipulation, let's be honest. It even calls it what it is. Let's call it, because it is manipulation. But how you choose to use this one will differ from person to person. I do like, however, that this does go into say how to charm others. Being charming, being charismatic, being able to get people to see your point of view, that is perfectly okay, and that's just a normal trait and skill. That is something that can be learned, whether from this particular spirit and demon, or whether it be via a book on the topic. I apologize about the noise. I can't do anything about that. So yeah, this is a fantastic skill that Valfor can teach you and help you with and develop. Okay, sorry about that. I shut the camera off so until the garbage truck's just sitting there left. So let's get back to this. The noise was killing me. I don't know if it picked up on the camera, but I didn't want to risk it after a bit. Of course, now that we know the things that Valfor can help us with, let's go ahead and throw his sigil up here so y'all can see that. Alright. So, of course, now you got Valfor's sigil. You got the representations. You know why you can work with him and some of the great things I like, especially the nightmares. Now let's talk about Valfor's Un. Again, Uns are not necessary. Uns are not needed. But a lot of people do enjoy using them. Now, Valfor's Un is a little easier than some of the ones we've covered. I will still make sure it's up on the screen because Southern twang, I know some of y'all can't quite hear it as well, so it helps you to see it better than just listen to me. But Valfor's Un is Kaimon Vefa Tassa Valfor. Kaimon Vefa Tassa Valfor. Kaimon Vafa Tassa Valfor. Okay? And now, we always try to close these videos with my personal experiences. Well, some of these I've already touched on, obviously, but I have personally always found Valfor very helpful in matters where I am stumped. I'm stuck on an issue. I just can't figure it out. And those are really maddening times because you know the solution's like right there somehow, some way. You just can't quite see it or find it. And I do tend to turn to Valfor in times like this and find the missing part to the answer or the deal very, very quickly. Just kind of points it out. It's almost like looking for that object that's right in front of your face, and then suddenly you realize it. Like one of my friends, I make fun of her because she was looking for a phone at night in her car, and when I went out to talk to her, she was literally using her phone as a flashlight to find her phone. So the missing part of the equation was the phone was in her hand. Granted, the matters he helps with and stumps with aren't that silly, but honestly, there's a lot of times when once he hands that information, helps you get over that stump, you're just like, oh, really? Why couldn't I see it? So you kind of do get that feeling at first, but he has helped me get over those so many times, so quickly, so helpfully, that I feel silly, but I am so grateful. He's also been very, very helpful in helping get those I know have wronged or betrayed me to confess on their own. This is one that has really been helpful to me. I'm pretty good at reading people. And I take honesty, I take trust, I take loyalty, and I take respect very seriously. But at the same time, if I do think there is a snake in the grass, as it were, I want to be 100% sure. And because of that, that's when I employ Valfor, and I will set Valfor there to get them to confess on their own, under their own will, if they have indeed done something wrong. And this has been a marvelous, marvelous way of making sure things are handled in a respectable way. Another thing is, and this is perhaps the biggest one, due to events of my life, some really bad betrayals by people I thought were genuine friends. That unfortunately has left me with an air of paranoia when it comes to trust, and that bothers me, and it's something I'm trying to work past. I like to be able to trust people. I don't like to be paranoid. Working with Valfor gives me a option, a way to do something without living in paranoia 24/7. If I suspect, I can talk to Valfor, set him to work. If it's there, they'll confess. If it's not, they won't. And no matter which direction it goes, I don't have to worry about it no more. So as I work on myself to, again, be able to not be paranoid of everyone in my life, or all the new people I should say, because I'll be honest, those closest to me, I trust them impeccably, absolute. This has been one of the biggest ones for me in my life, and so very helpful, especially where you move so much. Many of you know we move a lot here, so it's one of those things where you're going to a new community so often, you don't know, there's always that you're the new person. Who do you trust? Who you don't trust? How do you get to know people? So this makes that transition a whole hell of a lot easier. Okay? And as far as the appearance, I already told you, he always appears to me as a humanoid in a cloak. Occasionally he will have a donkey's head, which is kind of funny, but more often than not he doesn't. But even when he does have the donkey's head, there tends to be like fangs in there, in the mouth of the head, which is kind of neat. But overall, it's mostly just the humanoid that he appears to me. I've never actually seen the lion-donkey combo. But yeah, that's it. That is Valfor. I hope you actually take the time to reach out and work with this particular spirit of the Goetia. Like I said earlier, I love this spirit, whether it be just to find out whether or not that person did wrong you that you're wondering about. Great way to find out, subtly. Or if you're dealing with nightmares. Also a fantastic use of this entity for sure. Or just getting past those stumps. You're working on that problem, you got writer's block, you're trying to solve whatever the little issue is that's got you stumped. He is a great entity to get you past that stump. And yes, he can offer protection, as was mentioned as well. And though I do say spiritual attacks are highly blown out of proportion and do often come off, people talk about them so much and so drastically that it does sound like a fear tactic. That's not to say defensive magic is a bad thing. It's a good thing. One should always be prepared. just in case, even for rare things. My dad once said he's prepared for a bear to show up and attack in the yard. Even though the odds of a bear showing up in the yard are astronomical. And the odds that if the bear showed up, there'd be any danger, because they're usually pretty chill and they'll just wander off as quick as they showed up. He was ready for it. And that makes sense. But in all the years living on the property, I think 2 bears showed up, and honestly, they wandered in, they poked around the yard, one stole some corn, and they left. That was it. Bears are gone. Never an issue. But he was prepared. Kind of the same thing in metaphysics or anything in life. Be prepared, but seriously, there's a difference in prepared and paranoid. They're not the same. And because of that, Valfor can help you bolster your defenses around yourself or your home if you so chose. And it's not a bad use for it. Alright? Okay, with that, everyone, thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I do hope you take the time to reach out and work with Valfor, or at least talk to him and get to know him. Be sure to join us Friday and Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the live streams. Also, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you're notified anytime we release a new video or we go live. When we go live, it also lets you know if you have your notifications turned on. Also, smash that thumbs up button, give us a like. It tells YouTube you like the work we're doing, you enjoy the videos, and it shows it to more people. They really, really love that thumbs up button. Also, if you know anyone interested in magic, seeking to learn more, or interested in starting to work with the Goetia, or any of the videos or topics that we talk about here on this channel, share the channel, share the videos on your social media or with your friends, family, and loved ones. We're trying to reach as many people as we can because our focus is on practical, magical knowledge that can be applied to life on a practical level and help you to master yourself and the life that you live and to manifest the life that you want to live. All right? So with that, everyone, I'm Drake. This has been Working Dragon Mystic. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.